Hi guys, so today we are going to go over the midpoint formula because this was another area that we missed some questions on as a whole, as a class when we took our test. So the midpoint formula is shown here, and what it is you're finding if you have two given points, all right, what's halfway in between, the middle, the halfway distance. So the midpoint, you can add the two x values together and then add the two y values together. Divide each of those sums by 2, and that will give you the coordinates of the midpoint. Another way to think of it is you're taking the average of the x values. So if you add your two x's, and since there's 2, you divide by 2. And then same thing, taking the average of the y's. Because there's two y's, you add them together and you divide by 2. All right, so we're going to do a couple of these together, and I'm going to show you a different way to do this. I know I showed you a Cami method for filling out a Google Doc, and just looking over your work, I can see it's challenging for you to write with the tools. So I'm going to show you an alternate way to do a Google Doc assignment. All right, so here we go. We have one problem where our coordinates are -4 and 4, and the other pair of coordinates are -2 and 2. So I want the midpoint of this. Midpoint is capital M equals, and then I need to add the two x values together. So looks like I have -4 and -2. All right, and then I'm going to take that sum and divide it by 2. So by using the keyboard, to put in a bunch of notations. One way to do this, and it works for midpoint because of the values and symbols that you need to do. It didn't work so well with the distance formula where you had to do the square root symbol. And then I'm going to add my y values together and divide by 2. So that's 4 plus 2 divided by 2. And I'm going to close my brackets. So anytime you have a mathematical expression or an equation and you have parentheses, you won't use parentheses and then parentheses again. You have to alternate between parentheses and brackets. It's just like proper math stuff. All right, so M equals, we'll keep it brackets for right now. -4 plus -2 is -6. All right, divided by 2, comma. 4 plus 2 is 6, divided by 2, and close brackets, enter. And now I can actually switch this to just parentheses this time, because that's typically what you want to use is parentheses, even though they serve the same purpose. It's more correct to use parentheses at this point. So -6 divided by 2 is -3, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. And that's my answer. Okay, that's one thing you can do for this assignment. Another thing you can do for this assignment is as you're working it out, just use paper to write out your work. And then once you have some beautiful work that you want to share, let's come down to this one here. So I can type it like I showed you here, or another thing I can do is then come to where it says insert, image, camera, and then it's going to open your camera. All right, here's your work. Get it so it's clear and focused. Take a picture, and then we're going to insert the picture. It'll come out a little bit large, and I'll kind of jump things around, but that's another thing you can do. So there's lots of ways for you to show me how you're doing your work. You can also use Cami, what I showed you before with the distance formula. You have lots of options, and since we are in a Google Doc, I think we can even use Equatio. So Equatio, if you remember, is this little icon in the extensions, Equatio. So if I do add that, it pops up. So it's here, and then I'm going to hide this little piece so you can see what it's showing you. All right, so Equatio pops up, lots of tools. You can play around with it, see how you like it. I like it for myself because I can write on the screen and it'll turn it into pretty math for me. So say I wanted the midpoint equals And then I get my stylus, and I can open up this here. So I am going to take the average of the x values, which is -4 and 5. Okay, and then I also want the average of the y values, which is 4 plus -1. Okay, and so I can then take that and make an image and then insert it. So it does my work for me this way, but I still would need parentheses around this stuff. So they don't seem to be the right size now, so that's kind of like an issue. Very tiny. Right. Well, anyhow, the problem with Equagio is you can't change it. So like if I want to edit it, I have to come back here and change it, which I can do. Oh, now I have a big bracket. But I'm pretty sure I didn't want to have 12 down here. I wanted 2. Okay, so now I can insert that instead. Closing this. It's changed it, so I don't have to deal with these little brackets. I don't really mind how you choose to show me your work. I think the least frustrating way, if you're not familiar with using all these different extensions and Google Forms and stuff, is just to write it on a piece of paper, okay, and then insert a picture of it like that. Okay, but let me just go ahead and finish this problem. So the midpoint, and I think at this point I'm going to stop using Equagio because it does kind of frustrate me. The midpoint is -4 plus 5. That sum gives me +1. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2, comma. Let's see, Google Forms will take it and turn it into a cute little fraction for you. 4 plus -1 for my y coordinate is 3. 3 divided by 2 is 3/2. So maybe I want to leave it as an improper fraction, or maybe I want to change it to a mixed number. 1 and 1/2, 1.5. And there's my answer here. So if you are doing your work with Google Forms, you have a lot of tools here like highlighting. I can highlight my answer to make it stand out, which I really enjoy as a teacher because it makes it easier for me to find your work any color you want. All right, so you're going to do these 2 problems, and how you choose to show your work, you can type it, you can try Equagio, you can take a picture. Okay, the picture one is probably the least frustrating one, and all you got to do is just click where you want to be, and you go to Insert, Image, Camera, and it'll open up a camera, and then you can take a picture. All right, that's it.